Hello, my name is Mel. I'm going to be taking you through a prenatal friendly Matwork Pilates class today. For this class, you're going to need a mat, you're going to need a chair or a couch nearby. If you have a fit ball, that is also ideal. Make sure that when we are doing more of our weight-based exercises that you have a wall that you can support the ball up against so you're not rolling around, you feel a little bit more stable. You are going to need a set of hand weights. So I have some dumbbells here around that 1 kilo mark, even half a kilo is perfect. We are doing some overhead pressing. So if you have one set or one weight that is a little bit heavier, you can use that. Otherwise, having a set of smaller weights is perfect. You can use canned goods, or you can use 2 drink bottles that are of similar size and weight, something that you can hold really comfortably in your hands, okay? I've got lots of different options, so if you don't have hand weights, do not stress. I'll still make it challenging for you. And if you don't have a chair, we can get nice and comfy just on the ground, okay? So even grabbing a pillow or a cushion to pop underneath your bottom or underneath your knees at any point could be really helpful, okay? Just to make it as comfortable as possible. If you have found yourself at this class and you are not pregnant, you are still able to do it. I will just be referring a little bit more to the pelvic floor and how we can support bubs and activate our abs while pregnant. So if you are not, then feel free to still join and do any of the core activation with us. If anything, you'll just be able to do it with more ease. Alrighty, so let's get started. If you do have that fit ball or that chair, let's start sitting down. If not, you can go into a 4-point kneeling position, or you can join me in a standing position, okay? We're gonna start with some cat-cow stretch and mobility. If you're in a standing position, we're just going to stand with our legs a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and I want you to soften your knees, okay? We're going to be moving and tilting through our pelvis. So from here, you want to place your hands just out in front of you in this prayer position, and I want you to round through your spine, tucking your chin in, keeping your hands up at that prayer position, and trying to tuck that tailbone under and round through the spine. Then we're going to lift the chest, arching the back just a little bit and getting our pelvis to tilt anteriorly. This is when that knee bend is really important, okay? I'm just going to roll through this posterior and anterior cat-cow position in a standing position. If you're on a fit ball, you are doing the exact same thing. Arms can be up in prayer, or they can just be on your hips, and you're rounding and lifting. If you're on the fit ball as well, you may even like to do some side to side or some circles onto the fit ball and moving your hips in whatever way feels comfortable, okay? If you're on the chair, we're doing the same thing, sitting right onto the edge, legs are bent and nice and wide, rounding and lifting. Just making sure we get that anterior and posterior tilt at the pelvis. And lifting. Good. One more each way. Excellent. All right. Coming to a standing position for everyone. We're going to take a really wide stance for our sumo squats. Hopefully giving our hips a little bit of a massage as well. Should feel nice with this nice wide stance. Gonna get your hands either across the front of your chest, keeping your elbows lifted, or if you have the range, we can lift our hands behind the back of our head, okay? Getting a little bit more stretch through our lats. We wanna bend our knees, stick our bottom back, keep our chest up, and come all the way down into our squat. Push your heels into the ground and squeeze the bottom at the top. Good, stick the bottom out, keep the chest lifted, bend those knees out nice and wide, squeeze to stand. Beautiful. Moving nice and slowly through these squats to start off with, finding that hand position that works best for you, warming up the back of the legs. See if you can keep the arches of the feet lifted for me. Squatting down only as deep as feels comfortable for you today. I want you to aim on keeping that chest up, standing up nice and tall, squeezing that bottom. Drive those knees out to the side, push those knees over the middle part of your foot. Beautiful. Bottom back. Nice. Ground those feet down. Try to keep that chin tucked in, lengthening through the back of our neck, all the way down our spine. Beautiful. Let's do 3 more here. Last 2. Last 1. Standing all the way up. Let's find a quarter squat position, okay? So our knees are bent quite a lot. My bottom's still back, but I want your chest to stay up, okay? From here, arms go out to the side. One hand wraps under the belly while the other hand will reach up and over for a nice side stretch. Bring those hands back out to the side, other way. Hand under the belly, other hand will reach. Good. Maintain that squat position, please. Feel those quads start to warm up. Out nice and wide. Hug and reach. Good. Drop down a little bit more into that squat if you can. Keep those knees over the toes. Don't let the hips come forward. Keep the hips back for me. Beautiful. Keep drawing those knees outwards over those toes. Should be feeling it in those quads now. Last one. Reach, hug, lean back to the center, and let's stand. Beautiful job. Shake out those legs. Very nicely done. Let's come down onto one of your hips, onto your mat. Slowly make your way down. If you require a cushion, please do so. We're going to be lying down onto your side. You can stay up onto your elbow if you wish, or resting your head down onto your bicep, okay? With our legs, I'm going to get your bottom right back to the edge of your mat. Your knees are going to be forward and your shins are parallel with the front of your mat. So I've got a 90-degree bend at my knees and 90-degree bend at the hips, okay? I'm going to stay up for this one. If you want to lie down, please go for it. What I want you to do is stack the hips one on top of the other. So we keep this top hip lifted so we can try create a little gap between our waistline and the mat, okay? From here, we're going to go into clam position number 3. So we're going to use our glute, lift our whole leg up into this external rotation position, and then slowly lower that leg all the way back down. So we're aiming to keep the knee and the ankle in one long line. Beautiful. We use the first couple just to get our head around the movement. We only want to open that leg as much as we can without rolling backwards. Good. I want you to exhale, open the leg. Inhale to close the leg. We want to keep both hip bones facing forward. Beautiful. Moving nice and slowly, working on that hip stability. So the slower you move, the more benefits you're going to get out of this exercise. Lifting that ankle up in line with the knee. Good. Try to keep that bottom leg nice and relaxed. Beautiful. We have 2 more here. We open, slowly lower. Last one, open up for me. What I want you to do now is straighten the leg out nice and long. Good. Bend that knee back in line with the bottom leg. Keep the knee lifted if you can. Straightening. Squeezing that glute still so that leg can be in line with the body. Bend it back in. Nice. Kicking it out. In line with the body. Sweep that leg back. Keep those hips pressing forward. Bend. Press. And bend. Good. Last one, we're going to finish off with the combination of the 2. So press that leg out, Bend that leg in, close the clam, open the clam, press the leg, bend and close. All right, 3 more combinations. We open, we press, we bend and we close. Good. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Last one. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Beautiful job. Let's just get the other side done. Let's roll over onto your other hip. You can just turn over, you don't have to do a full flip like me. Legs are in that 90-90 position again. Lying down onto that bicep if you need to. If anything, I actually recommend it. Relax that whole body down. We're going to stack both hips on top of each other. We get ready to open that leg up into that clam shape. Slowly lower. Use the first couple just to rearrange and get into that comfortable position where you really feel this top glute working. Should feel it nice and deep into the back of that glute muscle. Nice, both hip bones are facing forward, remember. We move nice and slowly. Our aim is to keep those hips stacked, one on top of the other, and to work on that stability around that hip joint. Good. Doesn't matter how high we lift the leg, we're just looking for that quality of movement. Excellent. We have 3 more here before we hold, and we're going to be extending the leg out. We're here for 2. Lift and hold on this next one. Kick that leg out nice and long. Beautiful. In line with the body, please. Inhale, bend the knee back in. Exhale to press. Inhale to bend. Exhale to press. Keep that leg lifted for me. We're still open into that clam position when we bend that knee in. Push the hips forward, sweep the legs back as you extend. Inhale, exhale. 2 more before we go into the combination of the 2. Press. Last one. In, out to press. Good. In, lower the leg down. Nice. Now we open, we press, we bend, and we close. Moving nice and slowly, remember, hip stability is our main goal. Excellent. Open, straighten, bend, and lower. Good. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Last 3. Good. Last 2. And lucky last one. Let's open, press, bend, and lower. Excellent job. Bring yourself up. We're going to sit onto our chair to stretch out our glutes, or sit onto your ball. Sitting down, we cross one ankle over the opposite knee. Relax through the hip first and then gently press that knee down towards the mat. Excellent job. Try to sit up nice and tall. Few deep breaths. Last one. And we swap sides. Cross that ankle over that opposite knee. Relax through the hip first, don't fight it, and gently press down. Relaxing those shoulders down your back. Last big inhale. Soften on that exhale. Excellent stuff. Alrighty, we are going to come back onto our mat. We're going to be in all fours position. We're going to activate a little bit through our abdominals and a little bit through our pelvic floor. Bring a bit more awareness to it. So, hands are stacked underneath the shoulders. Take those fingertips nice and wide and a little grip of the mat just to help support the wrist joint, okay? At any point, walk those hands a little bit further forward and just decrease that crease on your wrist. Our legs are hip distance apart. We've got a wide base of support. And then from here, what I'm going to get you to do is we activate our pelvic floor on our exhale breath. And what I mean by activating through our pelvic floor is we've got this lifting motion from deep into our core muscles. And the little contraction is like we're stopping ourselves from going to the bathroom or passing wind. That seems to be the easiest way to imagine that contraction. Not that I condone stopping your flow of urine when you're on the toilet, but it's that similar contraction, okay? So what I'm going to get you to do now is when you inhale, I want you to relax. Feel your sit bones widen. And then when you exhale, I want you to think about drawing in that pelvic floor, that upward motion, as if you're stopping yourself from passing wind or going to the bathroom. Inhale, I want you to feel the difference between that contraction and that relaxation. Feel those sit bones relax and widen behind you. Exhale, lift. Inhale to relax. Good. Now what I want you to think about doing is lifting upwards through those abdominals, so pulling bubs in towards you. Beautiful. Inhale to relax. Exhale in and up. Using those deep abdominal muscles and that pelvic floor. Contract and feel nice and supported. Inhale to relax. The relaxation part is just as important as that contraction. In and up. Inhale, relax. 2 more just like that. Exhale, lift. Inhale, relax. Lucky last one. Exhale. Inhale, relax. Beautiful. All right, let's try to stay on the same side. The left and right can get a little bit confusing, so follow along with me. Your left elbow or your left forearm is going to land horizontal onto your mat, okay? Your right hand is going to stay planted. Then what I'm going to get you to do is we're going to lift our right leg out behind us, okay? From here, I want you to rotate your hips open towards that leg that's extended out. So I'm really now leaning in and supporting myself with that knee that's still on the mat, okay? My elbow and my knee are pushing myself up and away from the mat, and I've rotated my hips open. We're going to create lots of space for this glute work now. So what I'm going to get you to do is we just have a nice relaxed foot for me. We're using our bottom. We're lifting our leg up as much as we can. Now we're lowering that leg down to tap onto the mat. Exhale, lift the leg back up. Beautiful. Inhale to lower. Exhale to press. Good. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Great time to practice that pelvic floor lift as well. Inhales when we relax. I say relax quite loosely. We're still working pretty hard as we lower that leg. Exhale is when we do more of the work. Inhale, lower. Exhale to press. Good. You can stay just moving the leg up and down. We won't be here for too much longer. If you want a little bit of an added challenge, I want you to lift the leg up. We're going to do like a rainbow shape. So you're going to reach that leg forward, tap onto the ground, lift that leg back up, semicircle, tap it back down where you just were. Good. We lift, trace the rainbow out to the side, lift, trace that rainbow back behind us. Good. Give it a go. See how you feel. Otherwise, you can just keep lifting and lowering that leg behind you. Good. Keep those hips turned open. Create as much space in those hip joints as much as you can. Let's do 2 more for me. You can try that rainbow forward and back. Last one. Reaching forward or out to the side and sweep it back. Beautiful. Glide that leg back in. Come up. Shake out the wrists if you need to. Before we go over to the other side, we're going to do some upper body work. So this is when your dumbbells or your hand weights are going to come in handy. As I said, if you don't have the dumbbells, you can use something really similar. So canned goods is fine. And if you don't have weights, I've got some options for you as well. So if you would prefer to sit down for these exercises, sit onto your chair now or sit onto your fit ball. Otherwise, you can be seated as I am. If you need a cushion, do so and grab that. Alternatively, you can come up into this kneeling position as well if you're okay on your knees, squeezing your bottom and really practicing that lengthened posture, okay? So let's grab one of our hand weights to start off with. I'm going to do this in the chair just to demonstrate, and then I'll do the other side on my knees for you, okay? So one of your hand weights, taking your seat on the edge of your ball or the edge of your chair. We're going to place one hand out to the side. Whichever hand you want to start off with is totally fine. Our other hand is going to come up into this rack position just in front of the body, okay? Our elbow want to be nice and lifted just below the height of your shoulder. Hopefully my camera will focus. Nice. From here, I'm going to get you to exhale, press that weight above your head. Inhale to lower it back down. Exhale to press, inhale to lower. Good, you can pop this other hand on the hip if you like. Think about pulling bubs in towards you. Got that nice neutral pelvis. Good. Exhale, press. Inhale to lower. Good. Let's go for 5. Let's go for 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Beautiful. Resting that weight down. We're going to do the other side, okay? If you're in that kneeling position, looking something like this, or coming up looking something like this. If that was a little bit unstable for you, you can even bring your opposite knee forward, okay? And that can give you a little bit more stability with that overhead pressing. Otherwise, if you're seated, you stay in that same position where you're just pressing that other arm up towards the ceiling and lower. Press and lower. Want you to relax the shoulder blades down and back, keeping that chin tucked in and bringing bubs a little bit closer towards you, that slight abdominal activation. Keeping that elbow lifted. Let's not drop it down and drop that weight too close towards the shoulder. I want you to keep that rack position, okay? Let's go for 3, for 2, last one, press, and lower that weight down. Beautiful job. Little roll of the shoulders, backwards should feel nice. Alrighty, 2 options now. If you don't have a hand weight, this option is for you. Finding your seated position wherever you've just been doing your overhead press is where you're going to stay. You are going to bring your arms at a 90-degree angle out in front of you, and we're going to go into a open the window fashion. So open the window shutters out to the side, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Then exhale, bring them back together. Inhale, open. Exhale, press. When you bring those elbows back together, I want you to imagine that there's something between the elbows that won't let them touch. You want to imagine that you're going to try and press them together like two ends of the magnet that just that aren't compatible. That's what I want that sensation to be like between the elbows. Like you're trying really hard, but they can't quite touch. Good. For everyone else who has hand weights, you're going to need both. We are standing up. We are going to be softening our knees, sanding our hips back, and dropping those weights down just in front of you. From here, think about drawing bubs in towards you, squeezing your glutes just a little bit. Let's exhale, pull weights in towards your armpits. Inhale to slowly relax. Exhale, pull the weights in. Inhale, slowly relax. So we have our bent over row in this standing position. Anyone without hand weights is doing open the window. Good. Relax those shoulder blades down and back. Tuck that chin in. Feel that length through the spine. Keep the arches of the feet lifted. Keep sending your hips back and your chest forward over your toes. Keep that bend in the knees. Beautiful. We've got 5 more in us. Exhale, inhale to lower. For 4, for 3, for 2, lucky last one. Lower and stand. Beautiful. Placing those weights down. We are done with them today. We're going back onto our mat. We need to finish off our glute work on the other side, okay? So what we're going to be doing is we're dropping our right arm down onto the mat this time. So our right forearm, our left hand is staying onto the mat. What I'm going to get you to do is straighten your left leg out nice and long this time. And then from here, what we do is we lift that leg as high as we can. We lower down to touch. We exhale to lift. Lower down to touch. Exhale to lift. Making sure you're working the other side this time. So hopefully you kept up with my left and right. So it's the hardest part. All right, last couple here. And when you're ready, we can go into your rainbow shape. Otherwise, keep moving that leg up and down just behind you. Otherwise, when you're ready, you can lift that leg up. You sweep it forward, taking it back up and over. Keeping that hip turned out towards that leg that's nice and straight for me. Pressing that other leg nice and strong into the mat. Pressing up and out of your supporting shoulder as well. Beautiful. Tracing that rainbow shape. Think less about the height and more about the length that you can create all the way from your shoulder down towards the tip of the toes. Good. Lifting up, rainbow forward, rainbow back. Last 2, okay? Forward and back. Last one, lift, rainbow forward, rainbow back, and slide that leg in. Beautiful job. We have one little twist as a stretch to finish off with. So coming back into all fours, it's called thread the needle. So what I'm going to get you to do is open one hand out to the side and thread it underneath that other arm. As you start to drop the chest, from here what I want you to picture doing is tucking your tailbone under as much as you can. This will stop that stretch more into the lower back and hopefully feel it higher up into your mid-back. So think about tucking that tailbone under as you reach that hand through. Good, bring that arm back to the center. Let's try the other side. So reaching up, and then let's reach through. Tuck that tailbone under for me and reach those fingertips through as much as you can. Use this other hand that's on the mat to press up and away and get a little bit more rotation through that mid to upper back. Tuck that tailbone under, hopefully feeling it a little bit higher up. And relaxing through. Beautiful. You guys are all done for today. Make sure you drink lots of water, and I will see you at your next class.